Me, great way to cull the herd when nobody can get anyone else pregnant unless they already live in the same house. What about couples seeing each other? That's being outlawed as well. Nobody's allowed to date. Don't think they won't make it law, because they will. They don't care about how crazy it is, because they are crazy. To them this makes perfect sense and fits their evil agenda. This is a CBC, Canada Broadcasting Corporation, Canada's government-run national channel, news article, published on August 4, 2020, physical distancing, mask wearing could be in place for 2 to 3 years even with vaccine, Tam warns. Canadians shouldn't expect a COVID-19 vaccine to be a silver bullet that will bring a swift end to the coronavirus pandemic and a return to normal, according to the country's chief public health officer. I'll link the article below so you can read it. But she says, it's likely that there won't be enough vaccines for the population. Yeah, who's the priority? Children. Children are Earth's future. Old people they're not going to bother with because they'll just let them die off. These people are savages. If they're going to make a vaccine, then make sure everyone gets to exercise their right to refuse it. This woman is evil. I'm counting on Trump to get the real COVID numbers and declare this a non-emergency. This is enough of this bullshit. This virus isn't as dangerous as they're saying. We know the Pleiadians have intervened to lessen the effect it has on Earth. There are articles linked into this and one says that they're going to give the earliest vaccines to. For early phase 1 and 2, clinical trials, NACI recommends prioritizing not just healthy adults, who are typically used to test for safety, but also adults 60 years of age and older without underlying health conditions, because of their higher risk of getting severe disease. Children and adolescents, immunocompromised adults, and pregnant women as soon as it is feasible to add them. They want to make me one of the first group of guinea pigs. I don't think so. NACI, National Advisory Committee on Immunization. Why not change the C to a Z? Nazi. What this article tells me is a few things. 1. The vaccine is ineffective. 2. Social distancing is ineffective. 3. Wearing a mask is ineffective. 4. The virus is not as bad as they're making it out to be. 5. This is about social control. When you know their real agenda, you can read these articles to help inform others of the truth. This has to be done, to stop people from falling for this anymore. Canada's COVID numbers. Confirmed 119K. Recovered 104K. Deaths 8,971. Not to sound callous, but for 9,000 deaths, we have to go through these measures for the next 2 to 3 years. What is the national number of cancer deaths per year? 81,000 per year. Flu and pneumonia deaths in 2018, 8,625. The flu is contagious, so is pneumonia. So for the same number of deaths, we're running around with masks, social distancing, and some will be getting inoculated for approximately the same number of deaths. Some argue it's because we've taken all these measures we've stopped the flow of the disease. It could have been a lot worse. Their agenda is culling the herd. If the virus were so virulent, they would not have told us to take any measures against it and would have let the people drop in the streets. They would achieve their goal of culling the herd. They also would have made Trump look like a fraud, which is their other objective. This is the red herring I've been looking for. Culling the herd isn't to be done through the virus because the virus can't do it, it's to be done via the vaccine. Me, Ivo, I want to point out to you as well that the flag of Communist China has been raised above the police station in Victoria, New South Wales in Australia. Unless someone photoshopped it and is making a statement about the woman who was taken down by a cop strangling her because she wasn't wearing a mask, this is cause for real concern. Fact is, whether they raise the flag or not, this lady had a doctor's statement saying she doesn't have to wear a mask, yet she was still arrested by what looks like 12 police. How do we deal with this? We have to keep imagining a better future for Earth, but there are so many people who are still feeding these artificial timelines. We can't stop them from doing that. Ivo, no, everybody has free will. So everybody has the right to determine how they will react to everything that is going on. Some do not exercise their power, they give it away as submissive slaves. Me, what does it take to convince people that we don't have to live off of money? Ivo, a lot, my love. They have known nothing else. What is more, they are not interested in living in igloos made of snow, or a hut burrowed into the side of a hill. They do not know how to make their own candles, as once the homeowner did. They do not know how to make their own clothes or even their own fabrics for that matter. All that information was something the typical homeowner knew how to do in your pioneer days. You understand that since industrialization, you have become dependent on the system. Before that, the married couple or even the single could take care of themselves out in the wild. Now you rely too heavily upon the system, which is now turning on you. I will say this very clearly, no viral outbreak justifies the ends that your people are being forced to adjust to now. There have been worse pests upon your planet, not the least of which is the Ebola virus, that have killed off far more people than is the case with COVID. But this was only upon one continent, and that escapes the minds of so many in North America and Europe. Me, I know. If it were Ebola, then I'd stay home. I wouldn't even bother wearing a mask outside because I wouldn't go outside. Me, is something going to happen to really turn this around? Ivo, when Trump is re-elected, he will put into play long-term plans that the alliance has drawn up. However, he must be re-elected because he has set the groundwork for these long-term plans to be carried out. Me, I think people will breathe a sigh of relief when they see the Saint Germain funds come out. Ivo, this will be next year. Preparations are being made to give people the monies. It is a question of people wanting to accept them. They will have to understand that they will not be able to go back to many jobs because the financial system is crashing. People will be going out of business and jobs will be lost. Me, Trump was saying about how many jobs he's created. He doesn't seem to think jobs will be lost. Ivo, the deep state still has many cards to play. When Trump is re-elected, there will be repercussions. This will indicate to the deep state that they cannot rig voting anymore, which they are already aware of after the election loss of 2016, and they will have a collective fit when they lose. My dear, you must understand that these monies will be given out to the people of Earth because your lives are going to become a lot scarier. What you have experienced to date is nothing compared to the war that will be carried out upon you later on. The battling has only begun. Money is security to so many people, so you will have it. This is necessary because the insecurity that will be created around those who fear will have to be counteracted in some way. Me, got it? Thank you, Ivo. Ivo, my dear, we said it would be bad and we did not kid. The deep state is capable of any heinous act you might not even consider. We know what they are capable of, and are doing all we can to protect you from their retaliation. We see people are stocking up, this is good. They require supplies now as food shortages may continue or get worse in future.